Welcome to this short presentation designed to give handyman and owners of handyman companies 6 actionable tips to increase your profit and decrease your stress. Stress is the silent killer these days, and our goal running our own handyman business is not to work ourselves into an early grave, but to create a great life. To give a quick overview of what we're going to cover, I will introduce myself, talk about some of the pros and cons of this industry, and that will lay the groundwork for understanding why these 6 tips are going to make a huge difference in running your business day to day. Then we will close out with some next steps for those of you who are interested in bringing in some help with your business. My name is Alex King. I received my bachelor's degree from Colorado State University, and I have been an entrepreneur for 10 straight years. I am the owner of Mountain Handyman Company, and we consistently bring in over $170,000 in annual revenue with a 40 to 50% profit margin. And if you don't know what annual revenue and profit margin mean, that's a sign that you have some room for growth in running your business. I'm extremely grateful I found handyman work because it allowed me the freedom with scheduling and the financial stability I needed to help a member of my family who was going through some hard medical challenges that lasted about 3 years. Me or my family would not be where we are today if it wasn't for handyman work. My real passion, though, lies in business management and organization. Being a handyman is great, but what I really love is running companies. All the information I'm going to share with you today is about how to better organize yourself and your efforts so you can run your handyman company more smoothly. It's born out of years of doing this day in and day out and learning all the hard lessons. Now, I take all those lessons, I run a bookkeeping and administration company that helps other businesses stay on top of their daily tasks. So what are some of the benefits of running a handyman business? Well, you get to work for yourself, no more bosses, no more management telling you what to do. You get to set your own schedule. You get to help people, and this is a big one. People are going to be so grateful when you've made a repair for them. For people like us, doing something simple like fixing a leaking toilet isn't a big deal. But for someone who's elderly or maybe overwhelmed with their career and kids, a leaking toilet can be a big problem, and you're really helping them out when you repair it. There's always going to be demand for handyman work. Things are always going to break, whether it's in a home or a business, and people are always going to need help fixing it. And because of that, you have the ability to make great money. With one caveat though, if you do it properly. Because if you don't do it properly, there are tons of downsides to running a handyman business. And since you are the owner, all of the consequences are going to fall square onto your shoulders. The most obvious one we're going to focus on comes from thinking that knowing how to fix things, knowing how to fix drywall, knowing how to paint, knowing how to install a door, is the same as knowing how to run a business. This is not true. Knowing how to do handyman work is not the same as knowing how to run a business. And if you don't learn to run a business, you're going to experience a lot of pain. These things include long days, problems keeping money in your bank account, and this can ultimately lead to problems with the IRS. To understand this better, I'm going to explain what I call the handyman job life cycle. You see, lots of people get into handyman work because they like working with their hands and fixing things. What they don't consider is all the other stuff that has to happen before and after the actual repair work. It doesn't matter how big or how small the job is. Every single one of these steps has to happen to one degree or another for every single job. Furthermore, if you want to work full-time as a handyman, that means you have to handle all these steps on a daily basis to ensure that you have a steady stream of profitable jobs and a full schedule. So what are these steps? Well, you have to start by getting customers. This means marketing and advertising, answering inbound calls, providing excellent customer service, handling sales, gathering details of the job, knowing what parts to bring, how long it might take, what tools to bring. As you move towards landing the job, you'll be required to provide pricing, either verbally or in formal written quote, which means you'll need software and time on the computer. You'll have to get your truck organized with the right tools, get the proper materials from supply stores. Sometimes you need to order parts, which will require coordinating delivery times with the job schedule. Once you've done that, you need to show up at the customer's house on time, in clean clothes, and provide friendly and professional service. You'll need to make the repair within the estimated time frame, make sure not to break anything else while making that repair, clean up your work area so it's like you were never there, and basically just provide an all-around quality experience. Now that the job is done, you still need to collect payment from the customer. Many customers might want a formal written receipt, so you need to draw that up. You'll have to deposit their money into your bank account and get all your bills and expenses paid from doing the job. Then you'll need to track and categorize all your income and expenses to create your financial statements for tax reporting, and also so you can have accurate information to run your business. Again, regardless of the size of the job, whether it's fixing a leaking toilet or building a new deck, every one of these steps has to happen to one degree or another. This is what it means to run a business. So now that I've laid the groundwork, we can get into 6 different strategies that are going to make your life significantly easier and lead to higher profits and decreased stress. Strategy number 1, start planning ahead. Personally, I like to use a notebook. There's something about having something I can hold in my hands. But if you want to use a computer or a notepad on your phone, that's okay. Basically, whatever works best for you. Point is, at the end of the day, sit down and take 5 minutes to get everything out of your head and into writing. Brain dump what's in your mind onto paper. All the little details from the day that you need to remember. Parts to get, calls to return, invoices to send out. Even details about your personal life, family members to call back, maybe details for plans you have this upcoming weekend. Just get everything that's swirling around in your head onto paper. This will help you relax mentally and it'll help you not lose track of all those details. Once you've done that, I want you to mentally walk through your next day and write it out onto the same paper. From waking up until the end of the day, walk through every single thing that needs to happen. You might think you already know what you're doing, but I can guarantee that going through this exercise will dig up details you're forgetting, and staying on top of the details will make the difference between things going smoothly and things being a nightmare. Now I know at the end of the day you're tired and you don't want to sit down with a notebook, but I promise you doing this is well worth the 10 to 15 minutes, and it will make your next day go so much smoother. Strategy number 2, batching. Group the same tasks together and designate one time during the week to do it. You will notice there are certain tasks that happen week in and week out. Now that you are actively planning ahead, you can start to plan these tasks so that you only have to do them once a week. For example, lots of your customers still might want to pay with checks. Whether you go to the bank to deposit those checks or do a mobile deposit on your phone, pick one time a week and deposit them all at once. I personally deposit all my money Thursday morning, so everything is cleared in my bank accounts for when I do my books every Saturday morning. Another obvious example is going to the hardware store. Now you hear stories of Handyman going 2 or 3 times in a day. This is a huge waste of gas and a huge waste of time. You can't bill your customer for time you spend going to the hardware store because you forgot something or got the wrong part. Again, now that you're planning out your days in advance, you shouldn't be going to the hardware store more than once in a day. Batch tasks together to save yourself time. The more organized you are, the less effort you're going to waste, which means increased profit and decreased stress. Strategy number 3, organize your tools by trade and get your truck organized. Nothing stands out like a tradesman whose truck is a disaster. They open the tailgate and have tools, trash, and materials come spilling out. See, everything you do is either going to make the customer gain faith in you or lose faith in you. And this is such a simple thing to do. Just spend the money up front on a nice toolbox system. It's well worth it. Whether you get Milwaukee, DeWalt, Rigid, Ryobi, or any other toolbox system, they basically all do the same thing. Then organize your tools by trade. That way all your plumbing, all your electrical, and all your drywall, it's all together. You won't be forgetting tools at home, and if something unexpected comes up on the job, you know exactly where to find the tool you need. You're not going to be stressed out and wasting time digging through a pile of junk in the bed of your truck. Strategy number 4, understand the importance of cash flow. Cash is of a critical importance. You always need to keep a healthy minimum balance in your account. When you run a business, you have to spend money before you make it, whether it's advertising, gas to get to the job, software, materials for the job. Everything is going to come out of your pocket first. You don't get to collect money to cover those expenses until the job is complete. So it doesn't matter how much you are charging hourly or how much you bid on a job or how much money a customer owes you. Being owed money is not the same as having money in your account. You have to keep a constant eye on how much money is coming in versus how much money is going out. If you complete a job for a customer and wait 2 weeks to send them an invoice, you are essentially giving that customer an interest-free loan. As a business owner, you have to actively manage your cash as it moves in and out of your business. Leads to strategy number 5, stay on top of your administrative work. Again, most of us go into this industry because we like working with our hands. We like fixing things, we like problem solving. The last thing you want to do at the end of a long day is sit down and do paperwork. But again, there is a huge difference between doing handyman work and running a handyman company. Here is a list of some of the things you'll need to stay on top of on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis if you want your company to run smooth. Invoicing, sending out estimates, paying bills, bookkeeping, scheduling new jobs, sales and income tax reporting, payroll and payroll tax submissions, tracking ad spend versus return on ad spend, tracking job profitability. You'll notice that every single one of these tasks is related to your money. It's related to how much cash you have coming in and how much you have going out. So to manage your cash flow properly really means to manage these tasks on a consistent basis. If you don't stay on top of these, you're going to fall behind on payments, you're going to get unhappy customers, you're going to struggle to keep a healthy bank balance, your stress is going to increase, your business is going to struggle. Worst case scenario, you end up going out of business or being personally responsible for money owed to the IRS, and possibly both. We already talked about batching, so you can see that these tasks will need to happen on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis. As you start to get a better handle on things, batch them. Pick one time every week to send out invoices. Pick one time every week to pay bills. Pick one time every week to do your books. And as you get better, you can start batching them together and pick one time to do everything. This brings us to our last strategy, which is you don't have to wear all the hats. As you can see, a business has a lot of moving parts. As the business owner, you are on the hook to make sure everything gets done, but that does not mean that you personally have to do it all yourself. That's a very common mistake business owners make. They think they have to handle everything on their own. This leads to long and exhausting days, burnout, and ultimately the dream of owning your own business turns into a nightmare. Beginning, it is true that you have to do everything. You're not going to have the surplus cash or the incoming job flow to justify hiring staff. But as you get established and have consistent work coming in, start figuring out how you can bring on help. You can hire service technicians to help with jobs, hire a part-time receptionist to answer phone calls. Or in the case of this video, you can hire help with your bookkeeping, cash flow, invoicing, and other administrative tasks. Business is a team sport. Your goal as the owner is to build a team of qualified and like-minded people. So that wraps up the 6 key strategies to help handyman increase profit and decrease stress. For those of you who have consistent job flow and are interested in bringing on some help, here are some next steps you can take. Remember, the goal is to focus on what makes you money, getting and completing jobs. That's why we encourage you to set up a consultation call with us. We will discuss your business, your goals for the future, and your current challenges. Our goal at JM Capital Bookkeeping Solutions is to provide bookkeeping and administrative support for your business so you can focus on getting and completing jobs. If you do set up a consultation call, we'll need to know the following: how long have you been in business, what your current business structure is, employees and or subcontractors you have, if you are using accounting software, and what things you would want help with. You can reach out to us directly through call, text, or email, or you can schedule a consultation call using our Calendly link. Regardless of what you choose, I personally hope this information was helpful to you. Being a handyman is very difficult and also very rewarding. It's my personal goal to support fellow handyman so we can elevate our industry as a whole and lead great lives. A rising tide raises all ships.